Hey guys, what's up? This is Satyr. Today we're going to be doing a video on a Scorched Earth map. This server's been completely redone, completely revamped. So there's no instant tames, there's no instant leveling, none of that kind of stuff. The levels for this server are more closely geared towards official levels. So I've tried to set it up that way. The supply crates, of course, have been reprogrammed by Realta, my wife, who plays with me on some of these games, and she went through and completely reset it, made it a little fairer. Because we usually play on these servers by ourselves, we can't kill world bosses. In order to get tech tier, you have to kill world bosses. So what we've done is we have included some of the tech tier in the cave crates, or the cave supply drops. So in order to get tech tier, you have to clear the caves. It kind of makes it fair. But in this server, this is, you know, from launch one, we're getting in. I haven't pre-built anything. I haven't done anything else. So you guys are going to experience this from the start with me. And hopefully we can get in, get to my little preferred area I like to go to without running into too much stuff on the way there. I'm also, as you saw, I've got like 21 mods. I'll kind of explain what some of those do as we go. That way you can kind of get a sense of what a lot of those mods do. So this is character creation, of course. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and put in my name. I'm not even going to play with any of the settings, although you can if you want to. And I'm going to go ahead and pick my spawn point and try to get, what I'm basically shooting for is this little area right in here. So hopefully I can get spawned in the right spot and make my way there. And it really depends. So as you can see on this map, you see tap. That's on a completely different map, but for some reason it's locked it into that coordinate. And so every game I do, it's on every map, even though it's not even in the game. So we're gonna try to spawn in this area. Or actually, no, we're going to try to spawn in this area, which should be a big open desert with maybe a little bit of a cliff right in this area somewhere. And we're going to try to get down here as quickly as possible. Well, there's quite a few little predators in this area. There's some terror birds and some thorny dragons and stuff like that. So I'll just go back and edit that out, because I'm not restarting this damn video. Okay, as you can see, we managed to get a decent little spawn, and basically what I'm referencing is that mountain back there and the red ob, and I'm trying to get across this little open area, well, somewhat open area. This is a little bit of a cliff, and hopefully if nothing else pops up, we should be able to make it to that mountain range right there, which is what we're shooting for. And again, this is one of the little random water puddles around. You will want to track those down and make note of where they are in this game. So as we go, we're going to see a couple of things, like there's an anklo. Make note of where they're at, because you will want to eventually get one of those. And this is the open area that we were looking for, so we're going to take a second to look, see if there is anything out here that is not friendly, because we want to avoid that. But essentially, we want to try and make it across this little area. So as you can see, we'll look at our map. And this was the spawn point, and those three little blue dots right there in that canyon is what we're shooting for, which should be straight this way. So since I didn't really see anything, I'm going to go ahead and dart across. It seems like we have a heat wave coming. That's going to drain my water really fast. It's going to make you thirst really fast. But again, I've actually changed the settings on my water usage just a little bit, so I'm not going to thirst to death that fast. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and shoot over here. Again, we'll look at the map. And as you can see, that we're just about to where we want to be. This is my little preferred honey hole, I guess you could call it. And we're going to take a minute and look down there. And I see a raptor already. That's not a good sign, because that means we're going to have to deal with him. But that is the point that we are shooting for, is right below this cliff. And I also see a Caprisuchus, which means we may not be able to do what we want to do. Because basically I wanted to jump into that water from up here. But with that Caprisuchus down there, that's not going to work too well. Because of course, as soon as we get in the water, he is going to eat us. So, we really have no other way to get down there other than jumping. Because to run down there or to walk down there would put us in the line of fire with a lot of predators. It's really nice that they're taunting us with that red drop, since I can't get it. And there's a Caprisuchus in that lake too. So again, looks like we're gonna have to hoof it down there. So what we're gonna have to do is attempt to make it down there. And what I'm going to do right off the bat is I'm going to go ahead and collect some berries, because I've got these little critters right here, these jerboas. They're not good for much, but they do work as little weather vanes, and you can tame them fairly easily. You really just need some majo berries. So hopefully I can knock one out if I can find one. And let's see, I want to find a decent color one. This one's kind of cute. Let's see, let's go with, I kind of like this color, so we're going to try to knock this little guy out. Takes quite a bit to knock him out. Get him. Okay. So that took a little bit more than I was expecting. So what we're going to do is throw that in his inventory. And as I said, they'll tame pretty quick. And I did hit him a little bit after he passed out. So we're going to lose a couple of levels, which is fine, because I think they... Oh, he is a level 40. Usually I've seen these guys at level 1, so that's interesting. What level are you? 35? I'm going to have to keep track of where that is. But essentially, we're going to try to tame this jerboa, and then we'll work on getting down into that little cave, or that little water hole that we want to get into. And since this guy's taking a few more minutes to tame than I thought he would, I'm going to give him a narco berry. Try and keep him down. Let's see. I've got level. I'm going to go ahead and spin that. And I'm actually going to put that in Fortitude. Fortitude will help you survive out in this map. We almost have a Tame here, so... These guys work pretty good as backpacks as well as weather vanes. So you'll see what I'm talking about as far as weather vanes as we go through. So once I get him tamed... There we are. I normally don't name them. I'm going to disable following because I'm going to be carrying him, but I'll keep him on attack target. And as you can see, there he is. And like I said, they work just like weather vanes. So as you go through the game, and level again. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw another point in there. I will learn stuff as we go. I want to get down to my little cave. There's a nice color per copper. Level 45. That's fairly nice. Let's see what we have down here. Okay, that's fairly reasonable. We have a morella tops down there, so that means there's no caprisuchus in that lake, but we cannot get to the lake that we want because there is a caprisuchus in there unless it moved. No, it's still there. And there's no way we can make that jump because even down there that's pushing it, because I've actually missed that jump a time or two. I don't think we'd make it from here. I could attempt it, but more than likely I'm not going to make it even at a fast run. So we are going to take the long way. I may as well go ahead and start working on crafting some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and try and work on getting some fiber together and work on getting basic tools together. So as you're working your way down there, it's good just to go ahead and get basic stuff together. Was not expecting this to take this long. I was hoping I could just run down there, jump off the cliff, and be in there. And I'm looking for raptors. I don't want to have to encounter any raptors when I go to head down through this area. So it looks fairly clear, so we're going to try to go for it. We need to get off of this cliff without killing ourselves. And that's the hard part. Let's see if we can get up there and work our way down. There's another dodecarus. We need to keep track of those guys because we will need one of those somewhere down the line. There's a tree down there, but there's no guarantee I'd hit it. So let's keep going this way. These bugs that you see walking around can save your life. They're known as oil jug bugs and water jug bugs. And basically the difference is the oil jug bugs are red and the water jug bugs are blue. And essentially they collect oil and water from within the environment. So as they're walking around, they collect the stuff and you can harvest it off of them. So you just run up behind them and collect it. And that was pretty close, so we're going to take a minute to try and regen. Let's see. Hopefully we can regen a little HP. It's going to take us a little bit. Should be okay. Alright, again, we don't want to go off this cliff, so we're going to go around and just pray for no predators. Now I can actually sprint again, so that's handy. We're going to stop by here, grab a little bit of wood. Trying not to kill ourselves in the process. So let's see, we need... Alright, we have the stone pick anagram, so we're going to go ahead and learn that. Alright, we need thatch and stone. we can get a little thatch. There we go. Maybe we've got enough now. Yes, we do. There we are. So we have our first piece of gear that we need. We'll go ahead and bump up fortitude yet again. And again, I'll explain a lot of these add-ons as we go and exactly what they do. And then we'll get into that. So since I have that, I'm now going to go ahead and get it on my bar so I can use it. So I need some flint and some more wood. And again, I have the harvest turn up a little bit, but it's not what it is on our other servers. So this should be a little bit more of a challenge and a little bit more of a equal representation of regular servers. And again, I've got some reusable stuff. What you'll see is that I only have to make this once, and even if it breaks, I don't have to make it again. So that's rather handy. We're probably going to build our first structure out of thatch, even though that's dangerous in this map. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get some wood and thatch together to build a basic thatch building, and then the next time we play, we'll go a little more in detail as to what you want to do and what process you want to go through. So hopefully we can get enough stuff. I'm going to turn my gamma up, and I know a couple of other codes that I'll use to change the lighting. I'll have to get those programmed in at some point. And again, we want to go over to this area, and this is the little cave or the little canyon that we were looking down into earlier. And I'll explain why I prefer this area as we go, and you'll kind of see it. If you notice, there's water basically right here. So you have immediate access to water from here. There's plenty of resources. You have access to metal down here. You're in the shade, so you won't overheat as quickly. And sometimes you get nice little drops down here, like you can get the occasional dodecarus that gets stuck in those little canyons that I just jumped over. But this is the typical area where I like to build. It's right up here on top of this little plateau. Typically no predators come up here. The only thing you have to deal with is those guys that spawn down there, and I'll make a bow to kill him here in a little bit. Sometimes there'll be a raptor over in that area. But typically this is the nice little area that you want to come to, and you can build some really nice structures down here. But typically I like to come right back here up against this wall, and this is where I like to put my house, or my first house. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a basic thatch house. It's just going to be probably be a 4x4, 2 high, with a roof and a door, and that's basically going to be my structure. So let's see if I have enough stuff to build that, and then I'll build armor and everything else the next time I log on. For now, I'm not going to worry about that. We'll go ahead and bump that up, and again, I'll explain all of these add-ons as we go along. So since I need the thatch stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and learn all of it. And again, you get the S plus stuff. We have a storage box. We're going to need that. We're going to do a thatch foundation. And I always build using the S plus stuff. And eventually we'll get down to some higher end stuff. But for now, we're pretty much going to be stuck with the basics. So I'm going to go ahead and just learn this stuff. Learn that, and we're going to call that good for the moment. So let's go ahead and get this thatch built before we do anything else. So let's go ahead and go to structure, or go to thatch. And like I said, I only use the S+. We need 4 of these. We're going to go ahead and build 4 of those. We need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 of these. Alright, now I always use the ceilings, so we're going to need some more thatch, I'm assuming. Yes, we need more thatch. So while we're crafting, we're going to walk over here and try and get a little bit more thatch off of this tree over here. And again, you'll replace this fairly quickly. The goal is to get to Adobe. That's the only thing you want to build with on this map. You really don't want to build anything else on this map, because anything else will basically cook you. Alright, so we need 4 of these, 1 of those, and 1 of those. And we're going to call this thatch house done. And we'll have to get some hide, we'll have to get some other stuff. So the next time I log on, when I have a little more time to actually play, we'll actually go through and get some of this groundwork going. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and lay the foundation work for what we're shooting for. Let's see, fortitude's at 40, so I'm going to go ahead and start working on my other stats, and I'll work on this as I go. So what I do is basically work my way down the list. And so we've already opened up a few other things, so we're going to go ahead and learn those. And close that back out. So now let's go ahead and get our foundations in place. Let's start with, let's say about that point there. And as I go through, I'll move the house when I finally get around to deciding where I want my permanent structure. And I'll show you why the S+ stuff is so good here in just a second. So we're going to put our door on the front. So again, I just built another door and I didn't need it, so I'm going to actually keep that door. Actually, no, I'm going to demolish this door. And let's see. Let's go ahead and get these walls in place. Now see, that wall's in the wrong spot, so that's why. That is why I use the S+, because if you see, you can pick it up. If I was not running S+, I would have to demolish it, recraft it, and put it back down. So the S+ allows you to pick things up and move them without having to demolish them. And we are freezing because we're not wearing anything, and I miscounted on my walls. Not uncommon. So again, that's why we gathered some extra materials. I think I counted for doing a 4x4 structure and not a, or a 2x2 structure, or a 2 structure instead of a 4 structure. Alright, and there. And that's also another feature of S+. If you notice, the door opened automatically. That's handy sometimes, but what we're going to do is we're going to set it for auto close only, because I don't want predators following me in there. So we're going to go ahead and move inside. See, our thermal protection from the house actually has gone up a pretty good bit. So I'm actually going to learn a few things here that are really handy. This tent is actually something that you want to make as soon as you can possibly make one. This is indispensable when you're in this map due to the weather changes. Oh, and I completely forgot that I have my little weather vane sitting on my shoulder, and I've lost track of the front door. There it is. Okay. It's the only reason I hate building in thatch. Everything looks the same. So we're also going to go ahead and build a fire pit. Oh, we need a little bit more stone, so let's go grab that. I don't have anything to cook yet. Sand is important. That is definitely something that we need a lot of. I will show you the best ways to collect that, and that is another reason why you need a dodecarus. Because, or what I call it, doed. We'll call that good for stone, but I'm going to go back over here to this tree because I need to build I need to actually build a storage box, and I need some more thatch for building clothes. Now, if I could find the listro down here, I would actually be able to build some clothing. But what I'm going to do is just build basic clothes out of what few patterns I already have. So let's see. Well, we know we need one of those, so I'm going to go ahead and put that together. And we need armor, so I'm going to go ahead and do what I can until I can get some hide. And there we are. And we already have some cactus sap, so we can go ahead and make some clay. But I think what I'm going to do is make a storage box, make a mortar and pestle, and then probably call it even and work on getting off here and getting some sleep. So let's go ahead and get inside. We're going to drop our fire pit. Actually, we're going to put our fire pit outside. You do not want anything hot, if at all possible, in your house. You will overheat super quickly, so it is not something that you want to do. And again, I'll go into more details as time goes by to explain why certain things are not done. So we have storage now, and we need a mortar and pestle, so we're going to go ahead and do, well, we need hide for that. Is there anything we can make? Not yet. Okay, so we're going to call that good for now. So I'm going to go ahead and place this. This will give us a little bit of storage. We'll go ahead and start storing some stuff. Let's see if we can make a bed. Just out of curiosity. One of these would be handy, but we don't have the stuff for it right away. Structures, beds. We cannot make either of those, so we won't worry about that for now. So again, we are just going to run with what we have. Since I've got a point there, I'm going to go ahead and continue to work my way down. Even though I cannot craft these yet, I'm going to go ahead and learn them. These are, again, some of the add-ons that we're doing, and I'll explain how they work as we go. I try to avoid learning saddles for the time being because we have a lot of the saddles programmed into the drops. So I try to avoid those right now. And I do believe that is all we're going to do for now. So, I'm going to go ahead and call it here and get some stuff in my storage chest in case something happens. Alright. Of course, keep narco berries. Keep all of that. And of course, all of my crafting materials I always put in a chest just in case something happens. I need those. And I need one seed. The rest of it I don't need. And I'm going to put my berries on my jerboa. Because storing berries on animals actually makes them last longer. So we will go ahead and do that. I'll throw the rest of this stuff away and we will call it good. And since he usually acts as a backpack for me, I'm going to go ahead and increase his weight. And they have cute little things that they do. So yes, we will call this good. I'm actually going to throw away these seeds and things that I don't need. I have no idea where that Caprisuchus is, so I want to try to be careful while I'm over here. I never really use these. I'm going to hang on to that, but I don't use these. Don't need that, and get rid of that. Just to stop from taking up space. That's a baby raptor over there. That would be a good kill if I could get to it. I think that was a baby raptor. I will double check just in case. Yeah, that is a baby raptor, but I have no idea where the Caprisuchus went. So, messing with that baby raptor right now might not be the greatest idea in the world. But I need the meat and the hide, so we might actually go for it if... there's our Caprisuchus. That's what I was looking for. And of course the baby raptor is running from us, so it is running directly towards the Caprisuchus. And there is a fully grown raptor, so again we are going back to our house. So we will leave them alone. So yes, I think that is good for tonight, so we're going to go ahead and call it. I'm going to park it here, and we will continue this video sometime down the road. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you can learn something. You can learn how to run these servers and how to get to this spot. Of course, I had to take the long way around. I couldn't show you the shortcut of jumping off the cliff into this pool right here. So maybe at some point further in the game, I'll do it just to show you how to get down here once I've got it secured a little bit. And I think next time I get on, we'll start looking for materials. We'll start working on getting this place expanded and start really building this little thing out the way we should be. So hopefully this will be a continuous series, and we'll try to do one every day, but we'll see how things go. So for now, I'm out, and hope you guys enjoyed it.